What is up, guys? My name is Alex, aka Hainsey, and today I will be showing you a beginner's guide to the guns and gunplay in Rainbow Six Siege. This is a little bit more geared towards console as far as the recommendations go. However, PC gamers, trust me, you can pick up some good stuff from this video. So everybody, hope you enjoy. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks. Now, when you guys first got this game, you probably got the Deluxe Edition, if you're a new player or beginner at this point in time. I've seen those as little as $10 recently, which is a steal. If you were somebody looking to get this game and just kind of looking for a review, it's fantastic. Please get it, especially at that price. So you're normally paying 40 bucks for that Deluxe Edition. Now, the operators you get in that edition are all the year 1 and the year 2 ops. So that'll include Frost, Buck, Valkyrie, Blackbeard, Caveira, Capitao, Habana, and Echo. Year 2 includes Jackal, Mira, Legion, Ying, Ella, Dokkaebi, and Vigil. So that's 15 operators right there that you get right off the bat with that Deluxe Edition, which gives you plenty of room to try different things. And as you play this game, you gain in-game currency, and that is called Renown. It takes very little Renown to purchase ops. So as you play the game and unlock new operators, the older ops are pretty cheap to purchase. So you can do that with your Renown. You don't have to spend any money on this game. Just play it and it'll reward you. The main focus of this game, especially at a beginner level, is primary weapons. There's good secondary weapons out there. The SMG-11, SMG-12, C75 Auto, all good weapons, but for beginners, I really want you guys to worry mainly about the primary weapons. This game has a one-shot headshot mechanic, so it will come as no surprise that automatic weapons rule the multiplayer online. Rate of fire supersedes all other things in this game, and when you get a weapon that has a high rate of fire, has good damage, and has good recoil, it's game over. So as you see on the screen, you've got 5 statistics. You've got damage, rate of fire, bullet capacity, mobility, and bullet recoil. Now, for console, you'll want to look at rate of fire, damage, and recoil. These 3 categories have the largest impact on your gun's ability to put your opponent in the ground. And as you progress in the game and begin to feel more confident with controlling the recoil patterns, recoil starts to matter less. However, in the beginning, you don't want a weapon that has good damage and good rate of fire and then a high recoil. There are 2 types of weapons in this game, automatic and semi-automatic. Your automatic weapons include your assault rifles, SMGs, LMGs, machine pistols, and your auto shotguns. Your semi-automatic weapons include your shotguns, your marksman rifles, and standard pistols. There are times on console where semi-automatic weapons can do the job. I can't tell you how many times I've been killed by a Blackbeard or a Cade with a semi-automatic weapon. All of these weapons have their uses, but as I mentioned earlier, the automatic weapons are the staple of gunplay in this game. When getting into accessories, it's really not as complicated as it looks. Most of the time, especially at high levels of play, it comes down to personal preference. However, I want you all to trial and error, figure out what works best for you. I'm going to be going over the pros and cons to each of them, unbiased opinions, and then if I give you my opinion, I'll let you know. So first thing is laser sights. These increase hip fire accuracy, tightens the spread on shotguns. As you can see from this overlay I'm showing you right now, the tighter rotate holes. This laser sight does include Buck skeleton key, so those will be tighter as well if you have the laser on that weapon. And then it does give away your spot. That's kind of the trade-off with it. So you can use that to your advantage sometimes, but most of the time that's a bad thing. It can be nice to have on certain operators that you rush with as well, because you can hit fire in this game, which normally you can't with pretty good accuracy with that laser sight. So some people put it on an Ash operator who they're going to rush in with and try that. As far as sights go, you've got 4 different sights. You've got the ACOG, the reflex, the hollow, and the red dot. The ACOG is a 2.5 times zoom, while all of the other ones are 1 time zooms. So basically they're the same as an iron sight, just with an actual sight. You're more limited to medium and long range, obviously, with the ACOG. It definitely fits a certain style of play, so holding longer angles is perfect for that. Hollows, red dots, reflexes, since they're all 1 times, you know, you can pick and choose what you want to do. You can hold longer angles, but you can also hold the close ones. Out of those 3, my favorite is definitely the hollow. It's definitely the least amount of obstruction when you're looking down the sight. There are some other unique sights that I didn't feel like were worth mentioning here, but overall you can try them all out and see what you like. If you're holding a lot of long angles on maps, then try that ACOG. If you're just kind of looking for all around play, I would do the 1 times of some kind. As far as barrels go, you've got 5 different types. You've got the compensator, you've got the extended barrel, flash hider, muzzle brake, and the silencer. Most people use the compensator, muzzle brake, or flash hider. The reason for that is that the silencer and the extended barrel aren't great all around, and I'll tell you why in a minute here. So the compensator reduces horizontal recoil, so it reduces the spread and helps with hip fire a touch. The flash hider reduces both horizontal and vertical recoil on small bursts, not as much dampening as the other 2, compensator and muzzle brake. It also reduces muzzle flash of the gun when shooting, and it reduces recoil by about 10%. So you might run this as a more aggressive play style, since you don't want to get distracted by the flash when you're shooting. If you're shooting down through the floor, you know, it's super distracting to see that flash because you already got such a small line of sight. The muzzle brake reduces vertical recoil and gives you a 15% recoil decrease only on single fire. It's ideal on DMRs and pistols because it gives you the best possible recoil for that single shot. Now, silencers are good because they have no smoke trails and no threat indicators, but what comes with that is a 15% damage decrease. It reduces muzzle flash more than the flash hider, believe it or not, and it can be great situationally by flanking and playing sneaky. However, it's just not used all the time. Extended barrel provides full damage over a longer distance range. This sounds good, but in a one-shot headshot game, it doesn't outweigh the opportunity cost of choosing one of the first 3, honestly. Grips are pretty simple. Weapons only become fully accurate though once you've completed your ADS cycle, just so you guys know. So you can't quick scope in this game like you can in a, you know, COD or something like that. As far as the grips go in this game though, there are angle grips and vertical grips. Your angle grips decrease the ADS time, and it makes it about 40% faster. You know, this fits a more aggressive playstyle, obviously. And then the vertical grip decreases your overall recoil by about 25%. This is easier to control that way. You'll see a lot of people probably run the vertical, but angled's good too. Now that we know all the basics of the guns, you're probably going to ask, which ones are the best for beginners? Between the operators you get in the Deluxe Edition and the older operators you can unlock with Renown, I've listed my top 3 on attack and defense for console along with their setups. So between the operators you guys get in the Deluxe Edition and the older ops that don't take much Renown to unlock, I've gathered a list here that you guys can use to your benefit. I've listed the top 3 on attack and defense for console along with their setups. Ash is my number 1 to unlock on console. She's got 2 very good weapons. The one I use is the R4C. I also use a hollow and vertical grip with no laser. And when the compensator and the vertical grip are attached, there's very manageable recoil. You can just run in there and gun. The fire rate's 860, which is amazing, and the damage at 39 it hurts still. Fuse would be my number 2. Older operator again that you don't get with the Deluxe Edition, however cheap to unlock. He's got the AK I use the ACOG most of the time, but sometimes I'll switch to the hollow. No laser again. This weapon does kick a little more than the R4C, so you may want to start with the hollow, easier to control, since it's not as big of a zoom, and work your way into the ACOG. The fire rate on this is 850, and so it's great, and then the damage at 45 is just fantastic, so it puts people down quick. And then your third op that I would recommend would be Jackal. So he is a year 2 op, so you get him with the game. He has the C7E, and I use the ACOG most of the time on that, but I do switch to hollow sometimes. No laser again. This gun kicks more than the R4C as well, about the same as the AK-12, I would say. And 46 damage per bullet, it's amazing. 100 rate of fire, it's good. And then with the vertical grip on there, it's very manageable recoil, I would say. At longer distances, though, it can be harder, so maybe you would start with that hollow and then work your way into the ACOG. As far as defending on console goes, my number one operator for beginners would definitely be Capcan. Older operator, you should look into unlocking early. Shouldn't be too much. He has the 9x19 VSN. I put a hollow on that, no laser. This gun shoots straight with very little kick. It's an actual laser. It does 34 damage per bullet and then 750 rate of fire. All around good weapon, but this gun really I'm just choosing because of that low recoil. You can focus on other mechanics of the game when playing this gun, like your movement and stuff and perfecting that. Jaeger would be my number 2. He has a great gun. It's been nerfed a lot in the past, just because it's been so good over the years. He has the 416C carbine. This is another operator you will have to unlock, by the way. But I use the hollow, no laser. These bullets do 38 damage, and it has 740 rate of fire, which is still good. And then with the compensator and the vertical grip on there, for me, that makes that weapon extremely controllable. And then third, I would choose Vigil. He is a year 2 operator, so you get him with the game. He has the K1A, which I put a hollow and no laser on. This gun does 36 damage and does 720 for the rate of fire, which are both good. It does kick more than the 9x19 VSN, but it's solid. I used a suppressor on this because the way you use Vigil, to each their own, but he's really meant to be a flank operator, which I am going to get to in another video. He is meant to be sneaky, and so with that on there, I'm usually going to catch someone off guard, so I don't need that extra damage, and I want to be quiet. So that is the end of the video. Some parting wisdom for you guys, okay? People are going to tell you, hey idiot, use the F2, use Twitch, use Ella, use the Scorpion. No. The reason being is they have great weapons that when you can control them will melt people. But you guys as beginners need to focus on mechanics, okay? Learning the game first. And you don't need to worry about a gun kicking out of this earth because it's been nerfed so many times because people use it too much, okay? Focus on those recommendations I gave you. Work your way into the F2 and the Scorpion. I just don't want you guys to develop bad habits. And if you're too focused on that kick, it can cause bad habits. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, like and subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate it. If you guys would like, leave a comment below. I would love to hear your opinions on this. If you disagree with me, if you think any other recommendations for new players would be good, if you've played a lot before, and then if you're a newbie, let me know what you think. Have you tried any of these? I'd love to hear your comments. You guys have a great day.